Start with absolutely alarming and breaking news. This is horrific. It's coming out of Germany. Dr. Jane Ruby is with us. A group of doctors and lawyers have examined the blood of inoculated patients, and you have their findings. Thanks for being here.
Yes, Stu. This all surrounds a physician in Germany by the name of Dr. Barbel Gitala. Dr. Gitala sees patients. She gathered together in her office in Germany two attorneys and another physician. And what she was sharing with them was her concerns over her patients who have been inoculated. And so this is just incredible, Stu, because not only are we going to show you today the blood samples that she's seen, and by the way, she's doing 10, 12, 15, in her words, of her patients per week. So this is overwhelming evidence. But they also got hold of a vial from Johnson & Johnson. They take you through it in their video. I'm going to send you the clip. It'll be on your website. And first, I want to, before we get into what they saw in the vial of Johnson & Johnson injection, I want to take you through these blood smears that Dr. Gitala is revealing, because this is the stunning evidence. In the first picture I'm showing you, picture 1, you see moments, in her words, moments after the patient got to her office. She took her blood smear and immediately put it under the microscope. These are regular microscope pictures, by the way. You can see this very lit up a piece in the middle. You can see the blood in the background. They look like coins stacked up. I'm going to talk about that in a minute. In the next picture, Stu, we've marked it's picture number 4. You can see this very coiled piece with a metallic sheen. And Dr. Gitala says in the middle here that this coiled structure does not absorb light like the red blood cells do. And then you can see in the background all these red blood cells, and they look like they're all stuck together, which they are. And I wanted to call your attention now to picture number 5 of the blood, where you see this elongated, very shiny tubular structure going through a group of red blood cells. And Stu, what these blood cells demonstrate is a stacking phenomena that's called rulio. I want to share with your viewers, rulio formation of red blood cells is really a stacking of 4 or more red blood cells. And you can see in the photo here of the red blood cells that they just line up like a stack of coins. It's normally found in patients with blood cancers. And I want to just read this. Rulio formation refers to the stacking of 4 or more red blood cells. The red blood cells normally, by the way, have a negative charge, Stu. That's so that they repel each other, and for good reason, because they're not supposed to stick together under normal, healthy conditions. When this material apparently is injected into people, it changes the electron charge to positive. And so that's why they're stacking together and they're clumping together. The doctors and the lawyers in this video opine that this is likely the beginning of thrombotic activity. Now, let me move on to picture number 6 of the blood, where you see it's pulled back a little bit. So you see that metallic coil that she calls a roll of coins, but in the surrounding areas, there's no doubt about these red blood cells are clumping together. They're forming their little stacked rulio formation. And she actually says in the video, I'm afraid for patients when I take their blood of the vaccinated and I put these smears under the microscope. I'm literally afraid for patients. Some of the things that she said were, she's never seen these structures before in all of her years. She's not a young woman. She's practiced for many, many years. She also says that the rulio formation across all of these patients is severe. So we're looking at severe red blood cell damage. She also says these anomalies I cannot interpret, to be honest with you. So I want to move on to the pictures of what they found when she took droplets of the Johnson & Johnson vial that they were able to secure. By the way, they do not disclose how they got it, what the chain of custody was, but they do show in the video one of the vials, and one of the lawyers comments that that is a lot number. It's got an expiration date. These are all similar findings to what the Spanish researchers found. So I want to move on to what she found under the microscope and what they reveal. in the Johnson & Johnson vial. So in the vial pictures that I've provided, picture number 1, you actually see her computer screen. And you see this very rigid structure with these tiny little dots in between. And so if we move to picture numbered 6 of the vial pictures, it's a little bit of a closer zoom in on those structures. And you see these little dots in between. And she says, we have these little, this is the Johnson & Johnson vial. She said, we have these little dots in there. Again, she said, these are very fine grains. I've never seen them before. And so the people, the 2 lawyers and the 2 doctors in this video are stunned. They talk about the fact that they know that doctors are afraid to come out and talk about this. The 2 lawyers discuss the fact that if they could bring this to a court, they're afraid that judges are afraid to be the lone judge that expresses honesty and shock at this. They say it's the responsibility of these companies like Pfizer, Moderna, and J&J to disclose what we are really seeing in these pictures. And it's just unbelievable. And I want to name, by the way, because it is in the public domain, everything I'm sharing with you, these doctors. There's Dr. Barbel Gitala, who is the physician who did these examinations and analyses under her microscope. Then we have Dr. Axel Bolland, another German physician who basically says in the video that we've got to warn people because they're giving this to children. He's trying to protect the children. He also says that it's absurd because in Germany and throughout the world, they're giving these injections to hospice patients. These are patients that want to die peacefully. They've chosen to just go peacefully to their death without invasive medical procedures. And yet they're being forced to take these injections, at least according to Dr. Bolland in Germany. I wouldn't be surprised if that's happening in the United States. And you'll see pictures when I've shared pictures of the physicians. Picture number 4, you see Dr. Gitala sitting at her desk in front of the computer with the other folks, and she's showing them on her computer screen these horrific pictures of the patient's blood. And Stu, she's probably got hundreds of these slides coming up, and she has said on the film, I've never seen anything like it. I'm afraid for my patients. These are just serious blood anomalies. And I don't know where this goes next, Stu, but we also have a video that's just come out from some physicians in France. They've put the blood of a vaccinated person under the microscope. It's identical, Stu.
So, again, we don't know the chain of custody, but we're seeing multiple slides here. It's very concerning, very alarming. The fact that they're concerned about going to a judge because the judge doesn't want to be the lone judge. I will just put all of them in a group right now. There's a line in the sand here. Whoever is not warning you about the potential dangers of this is complicit in whatever happens to anybody as a result of these shots that have been proven to be dangerous and in some cases deadly. There are a lot of people dying from this. We know that there are multiple platforms that track adverse events. We only have access to one, which is the least comprehensive and the least reliable. And we have seen the numbers get throttled on that system, which is called VAERS, the Vaccine Adverse Event Reporting System, that fluctuates numbers up and down like a big game. It's like a big game. So if you are an elected representative, if you are a politician, if you are a leader in a community, a judge, a doctor, and you are not explicitly coming forward as loudly as possible and warning people about this, there's a difference between, hey, taking these shots is your choice, it's up to you. But providing people with the information, the real information that these things are dangerous, appear to be poisonous, have been proven to be deadly, that is a whole nother thing. And now that we have this new data, that we have these slides, if it is not looked into, if it is not investigated, and if you don't warn people, you're on the other side. That's all there is to it.
Yep, absolutely, Stu. I think we need a panel if somebody could get a panel together of Dr. Gitala and her group, of Dr. Philippe Van Welbergen, of the French doctor who just came out with the same exact blood smear. And Stu, one of the things that the lawyers brought up in Dr. Gitala's group was that there is gross lack of informed consent, which is what you just alluded to moments ago. And people don't know what they're getting. So I don't know how much more evidence we need, but I think I want to put a call out to physicians in the United States. If you have access to a regular microscope, start doing blood smears of your patients who have been inoculated. If you want to take the word of the government and the CDC, at least take a look at these blood smears, talk to your colleagues. And if you still feel these are, quote, safe and effective, I don't know what to tell you.
There was a nurse on Tucker Carlson's program last night who bravely came forward, and she said, it is our job to question everything, to advocate for these patients. It is our job. We question doctors constantly. At this point, nurses and doctors need to remember what their oath is. Doctors specifically need to remember what their oath is. And at this point, you need to take the opportunity to either confirm or contradict what we're seeing here. Grab a microscope, look at the blood with the permission of your patient, of anybody who has taken this injection, inoculation. Do your own research. Do the research and bring it to the people. This appears to be a poisonous injection at this point. If it is destroying the blood, like what we're seeing in these slides, and we already know about the Spanish researchers, La Quinta Columna, the Fifth Column, yes. These people. We have heard when you were hosting over on another platform, Dr. Carrie Madej said that she has viewed slides that
yes.
have come from a particular vial. She hasn't released those slides yet, but she said that what she saw was completely alarming. I don't know the words that she used verbatim, but she was really emotional when she was talking about her findings after looking at these slides. People not coming forward are now complicit. This is no longer, it's your choice, because people don't know what they're choosing. It is being hidden from people, and anybody who speaks out about it is deplatformed. I agree. Your call right now for these doctors to do this is absolutely the right thing. Dr. Jane Ruby, thank you so much for being here. We really appreciate it.
Thank you, Stu. Stay tuned.